confines of my office. We're live and we're bad. Got no one in here again. I'm gonna sing sea shanties until we get some people. With our nets and gear, we're faring. Cat, sing with me. On the wild and wasteful ocean. It's there on the deep. I'm just kidding, guys. Oh, Danny Boyd's in the chat. Unfinished Project is in the chat. You guys, they saved you from the sea shanties. Aunt D is in the chat. Welcome, brother. Hello. Olive Drab is in the chat. Howdy, Olive. How are you? Yeah. That's my new thing. If I'm alone in the chat, I'll just sing sea shanties. Charlie Roma's in the chat. Howdy, brother. How are you? Rich, GT350R is in the chat. Olive's not too bad. I'm glad you're feeling better. Shell is in the chat. Being stocked as usual. Howdy, Shell. Yeah, guys. It's Sunday. Every day is like Sunday. Come share some grease tea with me. Dave Lewis is in the chat. Dave just sent me some pictures of some badass cars. Danny Boyd, of course, is in the chat. Uncle Corn Pop. Andy saying, I just missed your live yesterday. Yeah, I went on kind of randomly. It was a bit rainy outside, and I probably needed some caffeine because I was a little out of it. But it was a decent live stream. A little slower, but decent live stream. You didn't miss much, Andy. Didn't miss much. Chris Cadman saying, let me get the guitar out. Nice. Crashes Roadrunner Garage is in the chat saying, here we go again. Welcome, brother. Unfinished Project saying, it's been a blast. You'll have a great night. Have a good night, brother. I know you got a lot of work to do at most times. Be safe out there. Have a decent week, man. Make sure to check your fluids. Rich, I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty lazy. I didn't check the fluids. I just ran the truck. But she was running nice. I had a decent drive. I just cruised out, did my normal Sunday duties, and yeah, I went to O'Reilly, got myself a breakfast burrito. Nothing to it. Mexican Spec saying, this is an interesting thumbnail. You like that one? That one's courtesy of Hubie's Garage. He sent me that one after my Chancla versus Cat video. El Gato Putísimo. Chris Greenaway's in the chat saying, we as Canadians messed up big time this week. What happened, brother? What did I miss? Danny Boyd saying, O'Reilly's has breakfast burritos. No such luck. Tom Talking Games saying, hello, hello, Tom. How are you? Oh, Duax is saying, poke salad, Annie. Some of y'all have never been south too much. Don't know about it. Poke. Salad. And such a good song, man. Abel D saying, all right, I hear you're moving to Tennessee. Is Zero convincing you? I wouldn't mind. I could finally live in a trailer. How are you, Abel? Welcome. Landon Custom Classics is in the chat. Cousin Mike, he just got a snorkel for his tracker. It is a tracker, right? Cousin Mike? My poor brain. Hubie's Garage is in the chat. Ham and Scram breakfast burritos. That's right, Ham and Scram. I need to bug them about a sponsorship. Yeah, they got a weed that grows down there, Dan. Looks something like a turnip green. Two hacks. Jive Hype Jeff. Jeff, I was just looking through my pictures today. I was looking for something, and I saw the picture of your 521 still on the engine stand, and that's why I said she's come so far. You know what I mean? It was like just seeing the engine and the car kind of come to fruition. It's pretty badass, man. Seeing her go down the track. Andy's saying we've had some rain here. A lot of street flooding. Buddy's Model A fire truck was 6 feet underwater and our basement got wet. That's no good at all, man. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, Shell's saying Tony Joe White. Woohoo! Chomp, chomp. Danny Wood saying green eggs and spam. Rich is saying a breakfast burrito with 2050. What's better than that? VR1 2050. LB Bruin 79 is in the chat. He's saying just hi. It's just saying hi, and I see Jeff. Yeah, brother, welcome. Good to see you. Always. Chris Greenaway, so we made a big mistake. We invited a 90-year-old Ukrainian who was in World War. Oh, I saw that. Everybody was clapping for the old Nazi. Paul Pahui's in the chat. Welcome, Paul. How are you, man? Oh, you're welcome, Jeff, man. That thing's beautiful. You put in a lot of work, brother. A lot of work. Chris, I don't smoke enough to do Wolfman anymore. Hubie's saying he's way behind in his car duties. Yeah, okay. Like I said, I'll lend a hand with whatever, as long as it's not, I'm only smart enough to do so many things. One-eyed cat, Mr. Don English is in the hat saying, hey, hello, Ari. I'm finding more video of my Valiant at No Name Nationals. Damn, I look good. Slow, but good. That car is so awesome, man, with the Continental kit, too. It's an absolute scene. I feel like it's going way too fast for its own good. Dave Lewis is saying Taco Mike's food truck sets up at the local Pure gas station. That's pretty rad. Get some tacos and some gas. Fuel and fuel. All of saying everyone assumed he'd been a good guy. Is why vetting? Nah. Chris Cadman saying smoke time. Sand Mountain Ballistics is in the chat. Howdy, Hunter. I was enjoying your live stream earlier, man. I had to tune out. I was finishing. I had to start driving and stuff, but I saw most of it. I want to make sure to at least see your car go down the track. Envious Creations Car Club is in the chat. What's going on, brother? How are you? How was the weekend, man? Hubie's Garage is saying, all right, well, you were there when we tore it apart. Now we can put it back together. Let me know when you're available. I mean, Hubie, you say the word. I'll drop everything. I'm going over there. Priorities, man. Like, Hubie, you tell me, like, hey, Ari, I need help. I will jog over a mile of sick babies just to get over there and give you some. Oh, God, I can't even keep myself. I shouldn't talk. One-eyed cat saying, look up Wags Automotive. You did kind of a small feature on it. I'll check it out, Don. Long Beach Bruins is saying, all right, I got to make the coffee and set up the coffee and turn in, guys. Wish I could stay up. Glad to see the West Coast is still attached. All right. Just barely, brother. Thanks so much for stopping in. Have a great week, and coffee mainly, but make sure to check your fluids. Mexican Specs saying, Ari, you have been working for a while at that diesel shop. How are they to work for, and do they pay on time? I mean, they let me sleep in the big house. No, that's all right, man. The Jeff saying, got 2 races coming up and need to get ready, get the 55 ready to run. I'm ready, man. I'm there. Hunter's saying, what did you think about my race? Man, that car is so awesome. The Star Chief, man. And you got 18 miles a gallon drive in there. You go down the track, and you were hitting like 10s, right? I mean, and you're geared really high still, so it's like, I don't know, man. I thought it was great. I thought you and Dakota kicked ass. It was awesome, especially Dakota swapping his motor last minute. Chris Cadman's asking if I'm in the Chevy truck's basement. Envious Creations Car Club just bought another town car and got back from a lowrider picnic. Those picnics look like a lot of fun, man. I need to get one of those little RC Impalas. I want one. Two Axes saying, Hubie, you'll kick ass. Indeed. Hubie's saying, maybe Wednesday I buy lunch at Cobian's. That sounds great, Hubie. I got to go to Orange and grab a few things for Mr. Z's 61. So, I mean, I'll be back there. And I got to get your neighbors back their garage door clicker. They probably think I kept it. I'm there, though, man. Whatever you need. Like I said, I will get there. I will help. Hunter saying, best pass was a 10-2. That's badass, man. I mean, just for that kind of car, especially as well as it cruises, you use it as a daily driver and everything, and it's just still quick. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's pretty great, man. Mexican Specs saying, I just posted a 57 four-door sedan Bel Air. It is very yellow. It just needs headlight bezels and a windshield. Our windshield's easy to get over there. Andy's bringing up something. A few people have asked me about that. Are you going to be affected by the no smog zone? Andy, I'm already an outlaw. I will be driving straight through that smog zone. And the most beautiful thing about my truck and its condition, I don't know if you guys have ever seen my license plate. Those cameras can't read it. So I'll run a seafoam treatment in the middle of one of those smog zones if I have to. No, I'm not sure, Andy. I read about it, and vaguely, but this place is down the drain anyway. I've needed to escape for a long time. Hunter saying he couldn't have done it without help from my dad. That's kind of the unspoken hero behind a lot of hot rod builds is his dad. People don't often give dad credit. UB's Garage is saying, Jeff, I'll be amazed if I can get it down to full quarter mile under power without embarrassing myself. I don't know. Hubie's being modest. Hubie's one gear slamming, I'm trying not to use language, but Hubie kicks ass. Dean Stevenson's in the chat. Dino Futurino. Dakota saying Hunter wants to say he helped, but he helped for like 10 minutes. It sounds like a brother, Dakota. He's more there for moral discouragement. Something like that. Demoralization would be, I guess, what would be the proper term there. Chris Cadman saying, here Ari has a lawnmower for sale. Food nerds in the chat. Howdy, Ma. Shell still being stocked by Dean. Dakota saying, I ran 9.2 at 80 miles per hour in 8. Should get mid-13s in a quarter. Yeah, Dakota, that Trans Am was pretty sweet, too. It was just sucking down a little more gas than the old it's a Star. I keep wanting to call it a Strata Chief. It's a Star Chief. Hubie's Garage is saying, sounds great, a Tijuana taxi. You can get one at Classic Industries in Huntington Beach. Hunter saying, I probably could have gotten into the mid-9s if traction wasn't an issue. I blame that one on the track. A lot of people were talking about the track being kind of so-so. They were saying that the timing system was struck by lightning, right? So the track was out of commission for a few months. So it was almost like coming back to a fresh track after winter, I think is what Blake said. And I'm just wondering, you know what I mean, that timing system, how much sin did it have to commit to get smote by God? Because it really just got struck by lightning like that. Seriously? Dakota's saying track was pretty slippery. Best 60 foot I could get was 2.1. All is saying seafoam in the atmosphere. Stalking duties. Hubie's Garage is saying smog-free zones are in London, and they are taking the baseball bats to mounted sensors on the poles. England hates them. Olive's saying we tried to clean the hurricane with seafoam injection, but it's stalled. Hunter saying I can't help Dakota. He doesn't listen. I tell him what he needs to do, and he does the exact opposite and says I'm stupid. Again, you guys sound like brothers or something. Rich is saying I know nothing about nothing. I'm going to just sit back. Chris Greener is saying I'm an Indian outlaw, half octane, and chop chop. My 350 will smog all the way to the smog top. One-Eyed Cat saying, Dakota, I'm coming for you next year. Be warned. Dakota saying I want to put 323 gears in it. Then I think I'll be a little better. I got those tractor 390s in the truck, man. Guess it's better than 411s. Andy's saying Steve Leto has a good video on no smog zone. Apparently, it's already in place in England. Yeah, Hubie was saying that they like smash and dismantle all these smog machines. Hubie's Garage is saying I may bring a tow vehicle for the Gasser to Pomona for the race. I have to see if the golf cart or new Bonanza mini bike will tow it to the lanes and retrieve it from the shutdown area. Hubie, just let me push the thing. I could use the exercise, man. Dean saying, "Hi, I'm a curseologist. It wasn't anyone's fault. It was an agnostic lightning bolt." Dakota saying, Hunter has no knowledge to give, so I tell him to get to step. Oh man. Dakota saying, can't even beat my slow brother. Gonna have to step it up. Dakota, in his defense, he's got a lot of car. Whoa, getting some lag there. Andy's saying, forget reading my license plate, though. Follow the oil leak to my garage from the Model A. Hubie's Garage is saying, I need a tow vehicle or it will run out of gas. That's another one, Hubie. I was thinking, I got one of those little old, like the kind of reservoir dogs, little 1 gallon tanks I could run around with. Chris Cadman saying, careful, Hubie. Ari's going for the pulled hammy lawsuit. My neck! My back! Danny Boyd's asking, do farts cause smog? I think technically it does count as a greenhouse gas, right? One-Eyed Cat's saying, I can see if we're going to be trading jabs until next year. I can see, we're going to be trading jabs until next year. Fun. Dave Lewis is saying, run leaded gasoline around the smog sensors. F them up. I guess I'd just use the lead additive. I'm fancy now. I got hardened valve seats and stuff. Fancy. I don't even know what it was like overnight. Brian M's in the chat saying, howdy all. There was I think he's saying car show at Mile Square Park on Saturday. How was it, Brian? Mopar Man 1978 saying, poop. Dean saying, yes, but farts aren't agnostic. They're atheistic. Hubie's Garage is saying, Andy, I had a buddy who got drunk and knocked over a traffic light. They followed his transmission leak all the way home and arrested him for leaving the scene. How you doing, Mopar man? How's the weekend treating you? Did you at least have today off, or did you work today too? Oh, I'm saying he didn't leave the scene. He extended the scene. Mopar man worked today as well. He's good for you, man. Hopefully you get a day off in the near future, huh? QB's Garage is saying I got a flyer in the mail from a politician about the Mile Square Park show. How was it? Brian M saying it's pretty good. There's a sweet Apache or C10. Brian, was it the one that has like the bed all painted and what? The wood in the bed's got like a mural on it, basically? Oh, nice. Mopar Man's actually getting some time off. Chris Cadman saying Ari's toilet is so fancy, you have to ask the guy at the gas pumps for the key. You know what? My toilet looks really similar to his water bottle, Chris. So, trucker style. Right, I'm saying turnout was small due to the weird weather. Yeah, I guess it did rain on and off. I don't care. I was in the rain. I was just driving. Cousin Mike. Craig Chitto is asking, does the 250, 292 rocker arm use the same pivot as a small block Chevy? You know, I'm not sure, Craig. I haven't really dealt with that. I think it's technically third generation inline six. I haven't really dealt with them at all. He'd be saying he was driving his 4x4 Suburban and V'd his roof for the length of the. Oh, geez. Dakota's going to go to bed. He's got stuff to do. Dakota, have a great night, brother. Thanks for stopping in, man. Be safe this week. Make sure, don't run with scissors or nothing, please. And check your fluids, brother. One-Eyed Cat is out for the night as well. Thanks so much for stopping in, Don. It's been cool seeing videos of the car going down the track. You and Wendy have a great week, man. Make sure to check your fluids, brother. Mopar Man saying, I make homemade chili. Can't do that canned chili anymore. Have painful bloat and farts for hours. None with the homemade stuff. Yeah, homemade is definitely better. Chris Greenaway saying Pumpkin Fest was a success, although it's odd being sunburned from 82-degree weather and be the beginning of an October weekend. Yeah, I can imagine. It's still pretty warm out here. It's been a little cloudy the past couple days, but not, still warm. Andy saying, Hubie, that's funny. We had a driver go over a small embankment and break his oil pan. He drove it to the shop like nothing was wrong and told us the engine sounded funny. Hubie saying we had the HB Air Show this weekend. They were launching and landing from Los Al. Quite a show. Yeah, Hubie, last time I was over there working on the 61, I saw them doing some maneuvers. It was pretty badass. Craig Chitto saying canned chili is full of cow guts, heart, and other parts. Chris is saying Ari for Canada. Yeah, I know it's got to be strange, man. I mean, it's usually probably pretty chilly by now. Like at least probably between like 45 and 60 degrees Fahrenheit. I know you read Celsius or whatever kind of that writing that was on Predator's bomb. Opar Man saying I make a mean lumberjack chili. It has burgers, shredded cooked roast beef, and the typical chili fillers and seasoning. It's people. It's people. You'd be saying, all right, good thing there weren't any drones. Those damn drones, man. Drones ripped my flesh. Enough gas to fill up the Hindenburg. 80 degrees, huh? That's not bad, Chris. That's warmer than here. Chris Greenaway's saying at least I'll be tan looking till Christmas anyway. And he's saying $30,000 later, he still had a job. Oh, shit. Dean, don't push it with the tang, man. Hunter said, I made it to Sykeston on a full tank of gas and still had some to spare. Ryan saying, Hubie's Garage, two of my neighbors' family members won People's Choice 74 Trans Am in third place, a 69 Buick GSX Stage 1 for second place. Dang, man. Those are two great cars. Hubie's Garage is saying, saw Mickey D's found human DNA in their hamburgers. Nice. It's like it's that scene in Texas Chainsaw Massacre where she's looking at the barbecue. Sand Mountain Ballistics is out for the night, saying I have to work in the morning. In the quote-unquote high-end shops. They're all high-end, brother. They charge like they're high-end anyway. Have a good week, Hunter. Be safe in there. Check your fluids, man. Yeah, Chris, flat tap it. David's in the chat. He's loading. Player 2 saying, Suey. Welcome, Player 2. Glad to have you in the chat. Hunter saying that's what they say are, and the boss wants to cheap out and only replace stuff that's good. I feel you there, man. Ray is, for lack of a better way of saying, a moron. And I had to deal with a lot of his crap. Well, there's a difference, Player 2. It's sweet. I don't even know how to say that. You need accent marks or something. Yeah, good old restoration shops. They'll gouge you. That's one of the reasons I was really happy to jump into the work on that 61. Just give them a basic tune-up without it turning into some insanely expensive venture. You know, it's like their truck's roadworthy, it's inspected, it's got all the basic necessities, and they didn't, take some horrible hit, Mexican Spec saying, fun fact, I have no window in my room. Mexican Spec, that's not a room then. That's called a cell. Sand Mountain Ballistics saying, I'm about done with that job. Let's just say I'm looking around for an actual career, a good job that's full-time, steady work. Yeah, I feel you, Hunter. I mean, it's nice. It's cool to mess with the old cars and pick up a few tricks, but it's... it only goes so far, and at least you're not like 30 years old. You know what I mean? I'm in the same boat, and here I am. But that's a good idea, Hunter. I'm glad you're thinking like that, man. Plus, there's good stuff out there. Fiocchi just opened up a plant in Little Rock, and I know that's not entirely close to you, but it's in the name, man. Sand Mountain Ballistics. Or you could just get an FFL to make your own ammunition. Get a nice Dillon press and, just crank out good custom ammunition, man. Chris Cadman saying, "What does Ray think of me?" I don't care. Mopar Man's talking about Ed Gein. Mopar Man, I don't know if I mentioned this to you, but at Zach Baggins' Haunted Museum, they have Ed Gein's cauldron and his shovel. Mexican Spec saying, "This room was an add-on in the middle of the house. I don't mind it." Mexican Spec saying, "Nice. My son's mother gave me a roof unit, and it's my wife's room. She was on the phone all day for the company she works for. Now I have to sleep with her at night. Punishment." Sand Mountain Ballistics saying, "Nothing wrong with working on hot rods. I'm just at a bad shop, no benefits, and terrible management. Boss doesn't know much about cars." Yeah, Hunter, that's a lot of them. That's pretty much all of them. If you're not in a shop like that, you're in some like Moneybags ego shop where everybody's like, "I know so much more than I do." You know what I mean? You pretty much summed it up though. Yeah, I'm doing all right, Hunter. But just like I said, you know what I mean? It's kind of a messed up realization because it's like you look around and again the no benefits thing totally sucks, and then the only person making any real money is the owner and probably one sheet metal guy who's like just overpaid. Andy saying, "Love working on the old stuff. It's not super steady, but it's better than where I was." Yeah, Andy. I mean, again, you know what I mean. If you can make it work, you can make it work. But what are you gonna do? Mexican Spec saying West Coast Customs. I was always joking around about that. Like, why is everybody getting all Paul Tuttle in here? Chris Greenaway saying, "All right, working for Kiwi wouldn't be a bad gig. He's the most honest person in the industry." Yeah, Chris. I mean, I don't know if you'd need anybody around like with my skill set, but yeah, Hunter, dude. I mean, come on. You're a young dude. You're dependable. You're working hard. You're willing to learn. There's a whole world of things out there for you, man. Whole world of things. Like it just don't wait till you're 30 like me. I'm actually going to be 31. I think next week. Baskin Robbins, 31 flavors. Good God. Why? Just keep waking up. Yeah, Mexican Spec. The truck and I both in October. Her registration's due on. Oh, geez, I got to register. The truck registration's due this month. Dean saying, "Oh, I don't know. Uncle Brian said UTG crashed the AC Cobra replica. Uncle Brian said that guy's lost it for sure." Chris Greenaway is saying, "As my mama said, you deserve 31 kicks in the ass for your gift." Oh man. Part-time jobs. Oh, Chris is gonna or Auntie's gonna get a part-time job soon. Something, man. There's all kinds of decent stuff out there, but Hubie, no, they jacked me on the registration because it's still a commercial vehicle. And I don't know. Last year it was 2 something. I'm thinking it'll be closer to 3 this year. Yeah, Mexican Spec, it's technically due on the 31st, so she's a Halloween truck, but very fitting, right? I still use it like a commercial vehicle, though, Hubie. Brian M paid 185 for the registration on the Sonoma. Yeah. Mexican Spec saying, are you paying 200, more than 200 Mexican Spec on a 1960 truck? Ask them why. Ask them to tell you why it is so much. They will. I don't know. Arguing at the DMV sounds pretty fruitless. Chris, no, I've never skied in my life. Shell saying, my car registration is 328. My goodness. Wow. Whew. That's steep. Gotta move. I gotta move to a free state where it's not, some insane amount of money. I think it would cost me like $15 and a 6-pack if I lived in Arkansas or something. Dean Stevenson saying, did you also hear that Uncle Brian said that UTG was a hack and Kiwi was a con man, and that they are both big-mouthed, egotistical, narcissistic hacks and grifters who have no talent? I mean, I don't know. I think he should find a more, because I like making up rumors about people. I really do. You know what I mean? But you got to find something a little more believable. Mexican Spec saying, Ari, if it goes up this year, ask them to prove the value went up. The DMV got sued over this, arbitrarily raising prices every year with no basis in reality that the value went up. And I'll try to ask, but I can see myself getting a whole bunch of nowhere with that. Yeah, Mom saying mine was 1998. Hubie's Garage is saying, I switched my trucks to a passenger car by making a livable space in a bed. I had a camper shell and a mattress to qualify for my old square body. Technically, they could have nailed me for hauling. Yeah, see, Hubie, I got to be able to haul, Chris said something cool. Where did it go? Chris Green saying, DMV arguing is about as useless as watching flies fuck or grass grow. Now we're talking. Oh, man. Chris Cadman said, all right, we call it getting drunk and falling down a mountain or skiing. Yeah, no, I've never snowboarded. I've never skied. I never even sledded. I should get a camper shell for the truck. Chris Cadman, then I could have like a patio kind of thing too, an enclosed patio. That'd be hilarious. But if I had a camper shell, Hubie, you'd see that truck by the Sassy Bone. I'd just crawl into the back and pass out. Sassy Bone. Lovers say that in France. 2-year tags in misery. Yeah, Mexican Spec, they have 2-year tags, and I just found out that they also have dentists. Hubie's Garage is saying we're one bad law away from moving out of this political shithole. Yeah, it's bad, Hubie. It's really, it's oppressive to people who live a semi-normal lifestyle, a semi-Californian lifestyle I don't like using the term too much because it sounds douchey, but local boys like us, man, it's like living a lifestyle that our parents lived, we lived most of our existence is just like, it's not sustainable, I don't know. And it's kind of a bummer because that's what I was saying on UTG's live. Like, imagine how people in Bakersfield feel. You know what I mean? Like the rest of the state is, a lot of the state is rural, agricultural, and they're under the same oppressive BS as us. Mexican spec saying it used to be $3 to get your new tag. Chris is saying, Dan, Canadistan is worse. We just register cars with historical plates, only supposed to drive to car shows, but Ontario offers a calendar that says where a car show is. Oh, yeah, it's like, that's not good. Yeah, it's bad. You know what I mean? People talk about it like an exodus, and everyone else is like, stay and fight. And it's like, fight for what? You know what I mean? So I can so I can pay out the ass to live in a condo, be asses and elbows with my neighbors, you know, I don't know. Oh, sorry, Andy. Massachusetts is East California. Yeah, I know they're pretty oppressive over on that side of the country too. Mexican specs saying Oregon was perfect for me. It used to be $30 for 2 years, no taxes of any kind on cars. I think it's like $150 for any car. It's still worth it. We got Mopar Man on the Luciferians. What was it? What's the? Was it J. Vernon McGee? Hubie, what was the guy? But God, none but God. We can smite the Luciferians out of office. And on this day, J. Vernon McGee, none but God. I know what you mean, Mopar Man. I'm just having fun, brother. I forget, I can't really joke on YouTube. Someone can scroll through it and be like, oh my God, offense. And he's saying, what else is California? What else California does is some idiot on Beacon Hill says, that's a good idea. Yeah, I mean, it sounds, the problem is they pass things that sound like progressive or beneficial or accepting, and it's really just, you know, they're just lining their pockets. It's always more funding, more, more crap, you know what I mean? Like they'll say you can't fish a portion of the coast because it's protected, but in reality, it's just so Fish and Game can make an extra 50 grand a year, whatever. Mopar Man saying the greatest trick the devil played was convincing the world he doesn't exist. Tell the church that Satan is real. Satan is real, working with powers. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I shouldn't do that. That's the Louvin Brothers, for the record. That's not my song. I can't take credit for that. Chris Greenway saying, my dad drives that car every week down to the ice cream shop giving a personal car show. I asked him if he knew it was historical plates. I don't know, Dan. I don't remember their names like specifically. That's I know My Baby's Gone was like one of the number one country hits in 1960. I know that. Hubie's Garage is saying the Bay Area steers California. I have never voted for any of it. Chris Cadman saying 427 Chevy, 427 Ford, 440 Mopar. 427 Chevy, Chris. Come on, man. Not that the other two aren't badass, but tell the church that Satan is real too. That's one thing I really loved about being in the South is you could just turn the radio knob and then you just hear that church organ and you'd know what was coming out. Yeah, Mopar man, I'm not a big fan of the gun snatchers either. I don't think any of us are. Aunt D saying I go 440 Mopar. I mean, it's hard to do. Yeah, yeah, 440 is a great. 440 is a happy engine. Hubie's Garage is saying the one Ford that would make me stray, the 62 Galaxy 427 4-speed. Sonic Metal is saying N. Howdy, Sonic Metal. Welcome. N. 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 Olive saying there's a lot of gun people that kind of need to calm down about the firepower. No, come on. Olive. I want to, I mean, I should, as an American citizen, I should be able to go buy an anti-material rifle. Chris Cadman saying, I grew up on Motown, Ari, good music. Oh, hell yeah. Stoic Steel's in the chat. Saying bot. N-bot. And D saying they're all good motors. Yeah, I mean, 427 Chevy, though, it's just, imagine if I could put a plant like that in the truck, That's all I'm thinking, is that it goes straight in. Turbo Tom is in the chat. He's saying, did you see the video from Buck Does It? The 1960 Model T go down the track, 17157 at 38 miles an hour. Tom, I did see that. That was pretty badass, man. You made it. You got the subs. The T went down the track. How did that feel, man? Was that not absolute victory? Danny Boyd saying, the first car I rode in was a 64 Galaxy 500 two-door hardtop. Nafi Islam is in the chat. Welcome. He's saying, hi, guys. I'm 17 and very interested with automobile engineering, but I can't get opportunity from my country. Which country is that, Nafi? Chris Camden saying, what are you talking about? It's a privilege where we live. Bangladesh. Nafi, I don't know a thing about Bangladesh. But there's always, you're talking about engineering. Most of us are just mechanics. We don't do much of the engineering aspect. But, if you're talking about just getting something to work on, you could always start small. Just rebuild a carburetor or something like that. And hopefully you have the provisions to do that, just some basic tools and a kit. But, if not, you can always keep the cogs turning and learn about something mechanical. Mopar Man saying, I believe if you're a law-abiding citizen and can afford to buy the ammo and a gun, go buy a full auto or firing tank. Yeah. I mean, well, the irony there is you look at a country like Iraq or Afghanistan, and because of I mean, you call it corruption, whatever it may be, that the average Iraqi citizen can go buy an AK-47. Now everyone in Afghanistan's armed better than us since everything we left over there, and that's kind of insulting. I mean, I don't know. To me, it's like, some guy in Afghanistan's driving around a, Coupe de Ville, and I'm sitting here in a Geo Metro. It's insulting. And DC, and a few years ago, someone ran an original 1919 Franklin on Drag Week. That's pretty gangster, man. Stoic Steel saying Ari is right. You got to start from the bottom in most cases. Yeah, just, dip into something. Alva's even doing that. I mean, he's an ex-airplane mechanic, and he's just getting back into it. So he's like, I want to build an engine. I want to do a run stand. He's just trying to get into basics, and he's looking at affordable cars. Just keeping the cogs turning, Hubie's Garage is saying there's some Five Guys in Turkey that are finding many of the remaining Tri-5s there and building them back to with homemade parts. Turkish Tri-5s. Chris Cadman saying you have the 2A. Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, they chip away at it all they can. Nafi Islam is asking, sir, what can I do for my hobby? Like I said, something small, rebuilding carburetors. If you can access one, I don't know if there's a junkyard or a place where I don't know, do they scrap everything? I have no clue what the lifestyle or what the system is like in Bangladesh. Bangladesh? Am I saying it wrong? Am I doing that thing? But I'm sure you could find just something, something small to work on and repair. Testing it would be a whole other thing. An engine run stand is a good idea. Mopar Man saying the first semi-automatic rifle cannon in the 1700 was called a pucket gun. So when the anti-gunners say I don't think this is what... Yeah, I mean, they're always splitting hairs like that. I don't know. Like I said, you know what I mean? If people... I mean, I don't know. Olive's got a good point too. She's saying, Nafi, start with small engines, like, obviously some two-stroke, weed whacker, lawnmower, whatever may be around. Chris Greenaway saying, lost my wallet in a hunting accident, not my gun, so I guess you win when you can. And D saying, Nafi Islam, best thing to do is start. Yeah, just get into it. Start hoarding, get junk, Olive saying lots of scooters and boats there. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I don't know if kids in other countries can get an AK-47, why can't we? Like if a 12-year-old's got one in Africa, why can't I have one here? Land of the free, really? Mopar Man, that's always the crappiest argument. They're like, you're supposed to have muskets. It's like, Dave Lewis is saying, Fusion 360 computer-aided design free for students to use. Hubie's Garage is saying, lawnmower engines is where I started. Funny, I just bought a Bonanza mini bike and will be building a vintage flathead engine for it soon. Hubie, the Bonanza's rad, man. That thing looks fun. I was showing the lady that thing, and she's like, you have to ride it. Just because I'm big and she knows I'll look dumb. She loves stuff like that. Anytime I'm compromised or if I'm falling, nothing brings her more joy. Nafi Islam is saying our economy is not good. I want to leave my country. Nafi Islam, I'm not going to lie. I feel the same way. As long as you got to do whatever works for you, I guess. If it's not suiting your purpose, if you can do it, like I said, I don't understand. I don't know what the circumstances are like. I don't know, but just follow your dreams, Nafi. Chris Greenaway saying, Mopar Man, that's how the best gunsmiths became makers. John Browning, Remington were tired of subpar rifles. Yeah. Stoic still saying the economy is terrible in the U.S. as well. Yeah, it's kind of hitting hard lately. Like 667 for 87 octane this morning was that'll wake you up. Woke me up better than the damn coffee. And I don't really like griping about that kind of stuff, but it's pretty alarming. pretty alarming. Cat. Cat. What are you doing? Chris Greenway saying, Nafi, Canada has a lot of Indian culture. In Kitchener, Toronto, most of Canada is welcoming, excepting rural areas. Hey, here too. I mean, everybody from all over the world comes to California, which I think is a beautiful thing. Turbo Tom saying 339 here in Ohio. I'm coming to Ohio, Tom. Yeah, 667. I think it was 703 for premium. All is saying, among other things, Bangladesh is low-lying, so they keep getting flood disasters, especially in recent years. Well, that's not cool. Cat, come here. I want to show you the Hubie. Come on. Cat. Hubie needs to see you. Yay. Hubie saying, local Chevron has 2 grades over $7 a gallon now. Newscomb stated he is going to talk to the oil companies about it. Andy's talking about CNR Arsenal. Aren't they great, man? Those guys are full on nerds. I'm one of their Patreons. For some time now. Turbo Tom saying put you to work at Cedar Point. I'm unenlightened, Tom. Mopar Man saying, here's an example. 75 cops, including SWAT team, showed up to deal with one guy in his home that wouldn't come out. He was shot and returned fire. They shot over 2,000 rounds. Handguns. QB's garage is saying, not my governor, not my cat. Cat, come on. He's got to see you. Come on. Come on. Grab the cat. Oh, 2 seconds, guys. Oh, look at him. Come on, Hubie. Look at that cat. How could you say no? Nafi Islam's on his other account. Sorry, Nafi. This is Hubie's cat. I just wanted everybody to see. Look at him. In the arms of an angel, far away. He's clawing me now. Nathan's Mopar Garage isn't Nathan. I'm sorry you had to hear that. Welcome, brother. How are you doing? Chris Cadman saying, all right, I've been trying to be like you, but now that I'm getting fat, do I wear those elastic waist pants? I mean, you probably sat up. You saw me wearing them, right? I got my Bruce Lee sweatpants on. Chris Greenaway saying, I'd start a firearm channel as I own guns that are actually good. I had seen our arsenal production around hunting rifles and shotguns. Do it, Chris. I'll tune in, man. I mean, I don't know if YouTube doesn't monetize that kind of crap. It sucks, you know. Otherwise, I'd do some reloading videos. Opar Man, he's saying, let's just say it's one thing to have an equalizer. It's another to terrorize your neighbors. I don't know. All of it depends what your neighbors are terrorized by. I don't know. Hubie saying he's a piss bucket, just like Boo. Hubie, you know what? Now that, I'm not working 12 hours a day and all that, now that I'm around a little bit more and I change his litter a little more steadily, I haven't had any incidents. For the record, I don't actually want to give Hubie the cat. It's a joke because he already has a lot of cats. I love my cat. Hear that, cat? I said it. Still, nobody wanted a cat. Stoic Steel asking, can I elect that cat for the Colorado governor? He'd be good. He's good. I feel like he would be kind of I don't know. He'd be a better dictator than anything. He's kind of tyrannical. Nathan's Mopar Garage. How you doing, man? How's it going over there? You got your notification like 10 days late. Hubie's Garage saying, thank you for coming clean, Ari. I have 4. I'm not interested in 5. The best part was I saw that calico cat jump into your backyard, and I was like, oh, goodness. This is happening now. Olives, don't apologize for your typing. It happens. Nathan saying random or no notifications. Yeah, it's like I look 2 weeks later and it's like you have 3 mentions. Like, okay. Oh, how nice. Someone took the time to mention me in a video and now I'm seeing it way later than they want me to see it. Nafi Islam saying I will establish a car company, inshallah. Hey, God willing, man. Stoic Steels, what's going on in Colorado? Is it the same crap everywhere? Oppression? Is it finally like Red Dawn, Stoic Steel? Yeah, Olive said it. Good luck, Nafi. Do whatever you can, man. Don't let them get you down. Because they'll probably try to get you down. They do that. But don't let them. Hubie's Garage is saying the coyotes would have a field day here in my neighborhood. The good thing is the rodent count here is low. Yeah, Hubie, I like your cats a bunch, though. I enjoy them. I like cats, though. I'm a child. I really am like a child. Stoic Steel saying, yeah, mostly the same stuff everywhere. A little theft of civil liberties, gouging of everything. I tell you what, though, I've been ruthless lately with the warranties and everything else. Returns, warranties. I'm like, you know what? If corporate America is going to get me, I'm going to get them back whenever I can. Hubie's Garage is saying we have a lot of outdoor cats in the neighborhood too. Yeah, there's that orange one with the funky tail. There's the black one. There's the calico one. I think I've seen another gray cat around. It's cool going over to Hubie's though because I have so many cat friends to visit. Dean saying, keep up with us. My boss at Halls was from Bangladesh. You guys have many advantages. You don't see your advantages. Like I said, I'm unenlightened. I'm like not very worldly. Nathan's Mopar Garage is saying, what about the dogs? I love dogs too. Hubie's got like a mean, like Rottweiler looking dog. Cat. No. Yeah, Nathan, I love the dogs a bunch. I mean, I just never had one, never had the space. I've grown up in apartments. He'd be saying she bites a mean ankle. Olive saying it would help if there was someone new who could tell particular opportunities or stuff to work with. Now if you could find, yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't know. I'm right here. I'm in the supposed land of opportunity, and I'm still a loser. So how am I supposed to give advice? Nathan's Mopar Garage is asking if anybody 3D prints car parts. Hubie's kid actually is dabbling into that. I don't know if he'd want me throwing his name out there, but he 3D printed some stuff for his Nova that came out really really clean. I hear chicanery out there. There's no wedding tonight, thank goodness. They did have a wake earlier, which I highly, highly favored to the wedding. Much better atmosphere. Ethan's Mopar Garage is saying, been thinking about trying it out. It's pretty dang cool, man. I mean, you know me, I got, there's like no plastic at all on my truck, but it's a pretty handy thing, definitely. Especially for making bushing, spacers, little what have yous, you know. You never know what you're going to need. Mexican Spec just linked a four-door Nissan 720. He was talking about on Uncle Tony's chat. Chris Granaway saying, seems my collection flips too much to make consistent comparisons. I'm looking to pay for a Winchester Super Grade Model 70 this Christmas. Probably the French walnut and maple. Aunt D's saying I'm going to have to call it a night. Going to help move a 68 Dart tomorrow that is buried to the frame in dirt. Hey, good luck with that, Aunt D. I'm sure you'll need your energy, but I'm sure it'll come out just fine. Appreciate you stopping in always, man. I'm glad things are going all right. Have a great week. Be safe out there. Make sure to check your fluids, brother. What's it trying to censor here? Weird. Chris Cabin saying, my dog woke up from a deep sleep today and barked. Yubi's Garage is saying he's always low key and under the radar. Yeah, exactly. He's still badass though, Yubi. I mean, I gotta give him some props every here and there. Dean Stevenson saying the carbon tax pushes industrial development back into developing nations' hands. So what you can do is make stuff we can't. One poor man saying, so the lambs, goats, and couscous is safe. Chris Greenaway saying, wish Sand Mountain was here. Wanted to ask him on 6.8 Western. I might have the dies, Chris. I collected a lot of them when I was in my reloading phase. All I'm saying, at one point, a friend and I were considering having someone scan and print prototypes to injection mold some dashboard parts. Couldn't quite get it together. Yeah, exactly. Dash parts, my Dart. It's got a metal dash, but the little vent inserts are plastic, and they've deteriorated to about nothing. So being able to make those would be pretty dang cool. Nathan saying injection molding is more complicated. Yeah. I've never done either. You guys know me. I'm a caveman. I cover myself in grease, and somehow cars run when I'm done. It's a miracle. A lot of it is magic, I think. Faith and magic. Dan saying farting and cracking knuckles are true joys. All it's saying, we figured we could do a smallish run, sell a couple dozen maybe. Isn't it Mexican Spec? Isn't that what you do with the tail lights, injection molding? Mexican Spec runs a small sweatshop down there where he makes tail lights for people like Cold War Motors. Hubie's Garage is saying the kid has done 3D printed dash parts, stereo sleeve, and a third brake light housing. Has succeeded with everything so far. Yeah, like I said, he kicks ass. The stuff looks clean, solid. It doesn't look like, you know, a lot of that stuff. Someone says they 3D printed something. You know, it's like, okay, you know, it looks like something. You put a couple quarters in a machine, turn the knob, and it comes out in one of those little plastic cups. But it's very legit, you know. Chris Cadman saying Ari chews out rocker arm from granite. Chris, I was going to say, if you really are trying to be like me, you got to go get a tracksuit. The Armenian tuxedo is the way to go. Oh. Dave Lewis is saying they're 3D printing tool steel now. That's pretty badass. See, like stuff like that, you know, maybe the future ain't so bad, right, Dave? Make some cool crap like that. Jeez. I wonder if you could use that, like, 3D print. I mean, I guess you could make the whole piece, but to repair tooling, imagine how much money that would save. Here's engine 7, Hubie. Stoic Steel saying, is it as good as forged high carbon? It was funny, Hubie. I did a short live stream yesterday, and it started to rain. So I was like, I guarantee within 10 minutes, you know, we're going to hear them light up, go out. And it took a little longer than 10 minutes, but as soon as I closed the live stream, I heard them. Dave Lewis is saying, spray weld and remachine apart. Jeff saying, can we 3D print a new president? I mean, we could probably, like, Jeff, we could probably throw a sock puppet up there that would do better than the current, what we're dealing with currently. Hubie's Garage is saying, the kid said they're 3D printing food now. I thought he said this. Yeah, they like, I don't know, I think it was supposed to be plant-based, but they 3D printed it so it would have the same fibrous texture as meat. Pretty weird. The future is now. Jeff's laughing. Well, I just want to let you know that I know exactly how you feel. Back in 1894, I left a piece of foil in my microwave and it almost started a fire like the fire that killed 300 people here. Play the music. Dean's saying, only issue with 3D is people are failing to think about what will sell and what people need. People don't realize how great old stamped parts were. We just threw away... The West threw away its good investment casting. Yeah, it's true. It's really true. It's true. Hubie saying a cardboard cutout would be better press at this point. Yeah, pretty much. Nathan saying, Dean, have you tried casting parts? Gotta make sure you have that really intelligent look, like president. Dean said I killed a guy with a broomstick. Brian M. saying the movie Demolition Man, every restaurant is a Taco Bell. Casting parts. I'm talking about what's all I'm talking about with competence. Carb adapters. Affix the tinfoil hat, everyone. Toxic Hell. Comunista is in the chat saying hola. What's going on, man? Welcome, Comunista. We got a snake in the grass, guys. No, I'm just kidding. Welcome. Mopar Man, funny how the back to their states and take credit for the info. Oh, okay. Don't you guys, you know what? I was trying to avoid this. Chris Cabin saying, go make the frogs gay. They's already reproducing asexually. Don't need to be no hetero frogs. Oh man. Tabo Garage is in the chat. Howdy, Tabo. Communist? No, I mean I'm like a lukewarm socialist at best. See, all of you did this. Now there's. I'm just kidding. Tabo, I read your comment earlier about the Aussie 6. If I could get a Hemi 6 for the Dart, I would totally rather have that than the Slant 6. I love the Slant 6, don't get me wrong, but the Hemi 6 just makes more sense. It's like you took the Slant 6, but you left it unslanted. It's kind of cool. Dave Lewis is saying, no need for investment dies. 3D printed lost wax castings took its place. Jeez. See, again, you know what I mean? If it works, it works, I guess. No sé inglés, solo español. Yeah, Comunista, I don't speak much Spanish. Very, very little. Enough to order my food. Jive Hive Jeffrey in the chat. Oh, man. Comunista, no, I'm not. No, Mexicano. About 2 hours. About 2 hours down south. I'm California. Makes heads in CHI makes heads in Australia, but our pressure die-cast Auckland plant outsourced to Australia. See, yeah, Mexican spec. Thank you. I need a translator in here. See, you know what I mean? That's the American way. Is you got to respect these people being communists and just accept the fact that they don't really mind not eating. And that takes a lot of bravery to be ready for that. Oh, what do we got? Nafi Islam saying, anyone want to contact me? Nafi, you're welcome. My email is on the about of my channel. You're welcome to email me. I don't know how much help I'll be, but just the same, I don't mind keeping contact with people. The pills flush down the toilet and the chemical runoffs. Fertilizer changes their body chemistry to not produce offspring. Yeah, Stoic Steel's saying, easy to stay thin, I guess. Yeah, it doesn't let me translate it in the chat. Mexican spec. What is it? It's like some Sandinista stuff or what? What am I missing here? Dean's saying, I was involved with casting the classic Inline's 250 Falcon 6 head, initially in Australia, now being made by Matt Cox with vintage inlines in the U.S. Mexican spec saying ain't saying anything. um, Mopar man saying socialism only works in one place in hell. They already have it because heaven doesn't. Olive, we do not. Because think about this, Olive. Imagine the resources it would take to start a frog conversion camp. How are we going to convince these frogs, after all of this bisphenol and homosexuality, how are we going to convince them to turn to Christ? Dave Lewis is saying, I learned a lot from the Indie Museum restoration shop about casting reproductions. I'm really unenlightened, Dave. It's not something I've delved into much. I'm always dealing with what's right in front of me, and I don't research enough. I've been trying to read more. I got some good reading material thanks to you and a few other people, but Hubie's Garage is saying, I think if Nafi has a trash dump he can go to, he may find a good mechanical device that someone has thrown away that he can take home and try to repair. A good way to learn. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Hubie. Just something simple. Commusexual frogs. Just like that, Olive. Um, yeah, I don't know. That is pretty terrifying, though. The fact that there's pharmaceutical crap running in the water. That's what they're breeding right now, Dan. They are breeding commusexuals. I am the walrus. I am the walrus. Lenin. I'm kidding. I know you're talking about Theodore Ilyinich Ulyanov. But I am the walrus. Dean said, we don't have to, all of them can represent proper thinking, and Mopar man can hang from the chandeliers and listen to Ginsberg poems. I really, honestly appreciate the wide spectrum of opinions and research and everything. You know what I mean? It's sharpening. It's sharpening for me. I'm glad there's such different people in here, and we all, despite disagreeing from time to time, sometimes harshly, especially you two, whatever. We all share some common interest, and there's always something we agree on, so it's like we're still American, right? All I'm saying, Ari's channel goes beat. Daddy-o. Mexican spec, there's a place, Comunista Mexican spec, there's a place out here that actually serves a torta that is it's a tamale in a torta. It's like the ultimate fat girl sandwich, but I don't know. Mopar man saying, they keep showing programs about the Nazis, but don't show the atrocities committed by socialist, Marxist, communist warlords. I mean, yeah, Mopar man, it's the same thing as they wash over that whole 5 million natives we massacred here. Tacos every time, Comunista. I do love some pozole, though. Mexican spec, that sucks the bread. That's right, the celiac. Evil celiac. QB's garage say Mexican spec. I think many non-mechanical people anywhere toss stuff if they get frustrated enough. He just has to find someone who doesn't want a mechanical object anymore. Yep. Communista, it's always hot up here. It's too hot for Caldos, man. I'm going with the tamal this time, especially if it's a puerco. Puerco. Rojo. Puerco, 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 puerco. Yeah, all of the pozole is a soup. It's like a real nice spicy chicken soup. It's got hominy. It's often served with shredded cabbage. And the tamal is, of course, a tamale. Afi Islam saying, I've been interested in engineering since I was a kid. Yeah, I mean, a lot of that, I think, just I don't know. I'm now, Fee, I'm horribly uneducated, so it's hard for me to suggest anything in that regard as far as reading or educating yourself outside of just doing hands-on work, because that's the only real experience I've had. It's the best learning I've had is just diving into things. I've learned more from failure than any instruction, I guess. You know what I mean? So it's kind of Ligma Balls is in the chat. Welcome back, brother. Glad to have you. Ligma Balls, how was the week, man? Anything cool happen? Anything life changing? It was amazing. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. It was. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad for me. It's a decent week. It was cool, man. I didn't really get a whole lot done at all, but it was a decent week. UB's garage is saying my son is an engineering major. He started building stuff with Legos as a kid and never looked back. Yeah, he's real. He's an incredibly intelligent dude, though. You know what I mean? You can always you can always tell when someone's thinking circles around you. You know what I mean? Get this man a rubber tortilla. The tortilla is really an amazing thing. It can be used for so much. It could be a weapon. It could be a utensil. Sometimes it's just food. Dean's linking some poetry. Mexican spec, I need you to translate again. Mopar man saying nobody in history is perfect, including natives. Even the natives killed. Oh yeah, no, they were gnarly, man, absolutely gnarly. But I'm not saying I'm not saying it like out of righteousness or anything like that. I'm just saying that there's certain things that, jeez, excuse me, I'm dying. It's the end. There's certain things that don't really get taught to you in school, and that's kind of one of them. A lot of it gets brushed up under the rug or told just completely ass backwards, but Yeah, you know, I really wanted tacos earlier, but the boy wanted to get cheeseburgers, and I wanted him to eat something, so no, no. So we ended up getting cheeseburgers. Really did want a taco earlier, though. Maybe carnitas. Carnitas. You say hablo Texpanyo, baby. Um, Cabeza. No! Stoic Steel say might have to start making hardtack like they did back in the day. Stoic Steel, I've made it before. My mom is a big cook, baker, everything, but I remember she probably still has it. It's this cookbook from like the late 1800s, and it had a hardtack recipe in there. And of course, me being the weirdo that I am, that was the recipe I latched onto, and I had to make it. And it wasn't bad, you know. It wasn't bad. I mean, you need something to soften it up, I guess. But Brian M., we got cheeseburgers from A's Burgers right there on Avery. Hubie's been there. Pretty decent. Little charburger place, you know, good fries, good iced tea. I'm low maintenance. Danny Boyd saying stool softener. Yeah, tacos. They say it like that, like up north too, like Minnesota. Like, oh, tacos, honey, let's go get some tacos. Do they say it like that in Canada? You're saying stop, stop, tacos. I'm sorry. Hey, Destroyer 1320's in the chat. What's going on, brother? How are you? How's the dart, man? I know you've been busy lately. I don't know if you got time for the cars. I don't. Hubie's garage is saying hopefully the cop didn't pull you over there for doing a U-turn. No, it was clear today. I actually took the family in the truck, Hubie. I don't usually drive around with them in that thing, but it's such a short drive that I thought it was cool. And the kid asked. He asked to go in the truck. And he gets in, and the lady hadn't ridden in the truck since I put the V8 in there, so she's like, whoa, this thing's a lot faster. Hubie's garage is saying that's the one thing I'll miss in Montana, real tacos. Oh, communists are saying, stop! Destroyer 1320 saying, Dart is for sale, doing great. Glad to hear it, man. I mean, moving on to different things. John had mentioned that you were, I forget, he didn't specify really. He said you were just trying some new stuff and you've been busy lately, but I figured it's something positive, so. Just the same. Glad to have you in the chat, man. I do these Sunday. I don't know if you've been in. I think you've been in a couple of them, but I just do these late Sunday chats and run my mouth. And we've been sitting here talking about communist frogs and yeah, Hubie, it was great, man. The kid was like, "This thing's a beast." I'm like, I just look at him all proud, like, yeah. He's like, "Can you make the truck go like this, like a snail or like a turtle?" I'm like, sure, son, I can drive a little slower. But yeah, Destroyer, communist frogs. We were talking about flatulence for a long time, chili beans, cats. Yeah, exactly, Hubie. Be a lot nicer when he has it, though. Comunista, no moriscos, man? Dan, don't talk about bears, man. That's another one that's been big lately too. Is we've been talking bears and drones, which is kind of I'm figuring it's going to give me nightmares down the line. Locksmiths are some strange cats. Look at that 1,000-yard stare. Hey, Peckerwood Customs in the chat. Howdy, Aaron. How are you, man? It's late for everybody else, but it's early for you. Going okay. Glad to hear it, man. I'm doing well. Just sitting around, running my mouth, same as ever. Driving the truck. Stoic Steel saying Joe Rogan talking about bears is great. Yeah, exactly, because he understands them. Peckerwood Customs is saying pest controllers are the ultimate weirdos. Yeah, same thing. They got the same kind of 1,000-yard stare. I mean, I guess they are kind of just mass murderers, right? I mean, I think I hear chicanery out there. I can't tell. I cannot tell. Oh, poor man's the good brown gravy. Locksmiths. All right, I have to look. 2 seconds. Oh, shit. All right. I really don't care. Those people they can all kill each other out there as long as they stay away from the truck. Sacred hazelnuts. The dollar is down. All the way around. I'm throwing an angled stick and it hit me in the calf muscles. Do I qualify as an honorary Australian? Oh, man. Aaron, poor Aaron. Everybody just thinks you're walking around with a boomerang and a didgeridoo. Cat. Cat, they're talking about the debt ceiling. Can you tell them we have a GED? Cat. You want to go over to Hubie's? I'm not sure, Peckerwood. The gentleman's a communist, so I mean we've established that he doesn't like eating, so that's why he's talking about food. Oh, yeah, System of a Down told me. Oh God, I can't do System of a Down. People love that band so much, and I'm just like, oh man. Just, every emo girl listened to that in middle school, and I don't want to hear it no more. Play some Black Flag or something. Yeah, Peckerwood, I try to be as inclusive as possible here. I don't, you know what I mean? Unless somebody's being like incredibly provocative or obscene or something, that I'll take them out of the chat. But for the most part, I like when everybody can pitch in. Peckerwood saying Black Flag's coming there. Who's singing for him now? Is it still Des Cadena? I don't know. Drink your black coffee. Drink your black coffee. Stare at the walls. It's a good song. Black Coffee, is that off of, is that from My War? No. Black Coffee is, Black Coffee's off of Slip It In. It's a great album. Definitely not child friendly. Hubie's Garage is saying, I'm leaving the mod stuff for our guest Mexican spec who can translate better. Uh, who is Racismo? Um, Cat, please tell him. Tell him about the GED. Oh man. Yeah, pretty much. It was a mellow week. I didn't get a lot of work done. I got a couple parts to work on that 61 Chevy. I got some basic stuff to do on the truck. I was supposed to do maintenance on my lady's car today, but the order that I placed didn't come in until about an hour ago, something like that. Mexican spec saying racismo is the left's battle cry. Hubie's Garage saying Henry Rollins is still awesome though. If he were to look at himself today from back in the day, he'd call himself a sellout. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I like Henry a bunch though, especially like he does the spoken word stuff and everything else. Chris Cadman saying, hi, Ray, I wish you a pleasant day. Don't block my dog, please. Yeah, I really like Henry's stuff, the spoken word stuff. Henry Rollins band is good. I don't know. Dude's pretty badass. Dude's pretty badass. Um, Geez, why is it escaping me now? Geez, that's how you know you're a burnout punk rocker. You can't even remember the bands. Off. Peckerwood Custom saying Ron Reyes singing now, maybe. Yeah, I don't know if I don't think I've seen him for more than maybe 10 years, Aaron. Something like that. See, I sound like, I really do sound like that burnout punk rocker now. I'm in that punk rock dad mescalero phase, like a Hawaiian shirt but with some weird socks. Mopar Man saying, seen a new Danos video today. He used a deep baking pan and laid the ramen noodle bricks in the bottom, added cheese, spaghetti sauce. Okay, that sounds like some kind of sacrilege, man. I don't know if I can get behind that. I mean, I guess you can't knock it till you try it, but my God. Hubie saying it was cool growing up in the LA punk scene in the late 70s. Yeah, Hubie listens to some great tunes. Some great tunes. He shows me music and like like Hubie, that Devo and Neil Young video you showed me. I was telling Uncle Tony about it. And he said the same thing. He was like, how the hell did I never hear about this kind of thing? And you showed me that Cocteau Twins song as Wax and Wayne. I sent that to my brother. We were talking about stage presence. I sent that to him, and you know what I mean. I'm trying to you keep my cogs turning, man. You listen to some great tunes. Why is the original singer in Black Flag? I'm losing it. I'm losing my mind. He's got the band off. It's gone. My burnout brain, really. God, it's not coming. Yeah, Mopar Man saying the Repo Man soundtrack. You got to hold down the best we can. You got to duck when the shit hits the fan. Mexico. Aaron said I'm a burnt out punk rocker for sure. It happened fast, man. I didn't know. I didn't even know. Why is that? All it's saying Repo Man is one of the great soundtracks. Yes, definitely. I need to watch that movie again. Spend some time. God, that's really gonna bug me. Hubie's talking about Lee Ving. Lee got into acting like John Doe of X. Lee Ving was in what was the movie he was in? Was it Streets of Fire? Because I know the Blasters were in Streets of Fire. Yeah, I think Lee Ving was a bad guy in Streets of Fire, wasn't he? John Doe was in Roadhouse. I know that. Yeah, Chris, but they had the original singer of Black Flag, the first singer, Circle Jerks guy. God, my poor brain. Yeah, I don't know. I'd just Google it normally, but I don't want to distract myself. It's been a while since I donned the tight jeans and the boots. Took all my piercings out. I never had many piercings, man. I do miss the Doc Martens though. They're pretty nice shoes. They got so dang expensive, man. They used to just be like a. I mean, they weren't exactly cheap, but it was just like an average work boot cost. Bartender in Roadhouse. I think it was the correct movie for Bing. Keith Morris. Yeah. Thank you so much. Keith Morris. Yeah. That's who I love. That dude he never sold out. He's still just dirty, dreadlocked. Keith Morris. He's the man. Chris Cabot saying, I know I saw Circle Jerks in London, Ontario. Badass, man. Yeah, that was an incredible band. I was listening to Making the Bombs earlier. Making the Bombs! Love that song. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of that music. I still have like a lot of the singles, some of the records and stuff that I saved, but I don't listen to it as much as I used to. I guess I'm not as pissed as I used to be. I'm writing it down, Dave. Smoke barbecue. Nice. What do we got? I don't know if it's Amtrak or BNSF yet. We'll see if it depends how much this place shakes. Chris, yeah, I've seen DOA. They've done like 5 farewell tours, but I saw them on one of them. But apparently, when they started playing again, it was when Trump was in office, and they started singing "Fucked Up Donnie" instead of "Fucked Up Ronnie." Dave Lewis is saying some Cleveland punk from the '80s. I'll check it out, man. I'll check it out. I was lucky. I had these really, I got, people showed me so much, still do. They always show me so much music. I used to have these like mixtapes. They were from a studio in Hartford, Connecticut, and they were called the Dagger Killer compilations. And there was so much cool stuff. There was a song on there from the band was called Jack Tragic and the Unfortunates, and the song was called "I Kill Hippies." Peckerwoods. Aaron said, "I'm giving Per Ibu a spin now." Per Ubu. I don't even know how I'm gonna say it. I gotta figure out how to say it before I listen to it, I guess. All I'm saying, checked out Jello and DOA collabs. What is it? What's inappropriate? What are they? Chris Cabin saying Joey shit had lost me there. I mean, it was still funny. I used a Dead Kennedy song for one of my shorts the other day. I put on Trust Your Mechanic. Obviously, it's context, but just the same. Hubie's Garage is saying I got to go to England slash Scotland when I was 15. Piccadilly Circus was wild with the spiked mohawk guys hanging there as punk was starting to explode in London. What year was that, Hubie? I know you told me you went there, but I don't know if you specified what year it was. Donnie, Ronnie, I love Psychic Warfare by Clutch. Love Ronnie and Nancy Honest, but kick ass Donnie bag out. Peckerwood's Custom saying Dead Kennedys went off when they were here. I missed Jello, but not the rants. That was his thing, though, Aaron. Is he was like he was trying to scream something at people and they weren't listening. You know what I mean? You got to imagine how frustrating that is. 81? Damn, Hubie, that must have been badass. It's a long time ago. Pol Pot. Pol Pot, Pol Pot, Pol Pot. Do I hear more chicanery? I swear to God, if anyone is anywhere near that 60 Apache, I will go off right now. Hubie's Garage is saying Holiday in Cambodia was a great one. My favorite was the Frankenchrist album. Growing Boy Needs His Lunch, Hell Nation, Soup is Good Food. Soup is Good Food is probably my favorite Dead Kennedys song. Oh, that's probably my fan. I'll turn that off. There's no rain. That's how you know you're getting old. You get up and you make noises like Voldemort and Harry Potter. Whoa! Whoa! Yeah. Cat, keep them entertained. Oh dear. Dan saying he saw the Clash in Old Hare Arena in Dayton, Ohio. That's badass, man. Aaron saying never saw the Clash, was on my list. I wish, man. That you know what I mean. I'm obviously still kind of a youngin', so I've been you didn't really get to experience a lot of these bands. Yeah, the Clash was great, though. I mean, I don't know if I probably said it before on a live stream, but when I drove back across the country from my mom's place, I was like 19 years old or so. Just turned 19. And I had that Black Market Clash tape, and I was driving through the New Mexico, Oklahoma, New Mexico, somewhere in the middle of the night, one of those states, one of those godforsaken landlocked states. And yeah, the dub side of Black Market Clash. Igor Henrique Oliveira Beniche saying, Oi, oi, oi. Welcome, Igor. Glad to have you in the chat. And what's say? Mexican spec. I need you to translate, man. Danny Boyd saying Jello came and did a speaking appearance at the University of Cincinnati back in '91, but I didn't go. Oh, that's the Polies. Must be some. At least I know my cat's not stuck in a tree. It must be somebody else's. Hubie, did you ever actually get a cat out of a tree? Was that a thing? Chris Cadman saying saw the Clash at the Fox in Detroit in the early '80s. Badass, Chris. That's another one I never really got into, Mopar, man. The Guar, I never. A lot of like the metal stuff, I just didn't do. Hubie's Garage is saying, when in London, the Clash, London Calling, Psychedelic Furs, Mirror Moves, and U2. Boy, were the 3 albums in my Walkman. I've seen the Psychedelic Furs, Hubie. I did security for one of their shows. It was pretty nice. Chris is saying, police coming straight from the underground. They sent the police because the wake was too woke. Oh, saying Kitty Cat is perfectly capable of getting down from trees. Sometimes wants me to come up anyway. Yeah, Aaron, I agree. I don't do the U2 much. I feel like, yeah. Yeah, I'm not big on the U2. Chris Greenway saying a bunch of concert money can go to car parts. Pretty much, huh? Jerry Lee Lewis. Good. The Killer, man. I was listening to Jerry Lee earlier. The Killer. Mexican Spec saying Peckerwood's fans did come down there to be in major markets like the Capital and Guadalajara. None come to where I am. No, something went down. That must be like a couple cats stuck in a tree or something. Hubie's Garage is saying, I got a cat out that was stuck in a garage door. The door was closed, and the outside top of the door was a cat body. The head was inside of the garage. We got him out, and he was okay. Nice. That's kind of got to be freaky, though. You know, like wrong move, and you just snap the cat's neck. Jeez. Stoic Steel saying car wreck, maybe? Yeah, probably. More than likely. There's only one bar downtown, so I doubt it's anything crazy there. There's only one dive bar downtown, I should specify. Chris Greenaway saying like $700 for tickets, dinner, and then gas, $800 to buy headers and exhaust. True. Peckerwood's Custom. Aaron, no, Mexican Spec was actually exiled back to Mexico. He used to live in LA, but everybody here got tired of him and ran him out. So he was exiled to Mexico. Holden Man TC is in the chat saying, hi, it's Holden Man TC in the chat. Welcome, Holden Man. How's the Ute going? How's the C10? Hubie's Garage is saying that's a typical response. Cops running in to try to do heroics before we get there, then fire arrives after. Yeah, the people who can actually solve the problem, generally. Chris Cadman saying, fire up the house and drive it to a new neighborhood. Chris, I'm not that nomadic. Chris Greenaway is saying, saw firemen doing emergency tree removal as it was going into the power lines. The tree safely fell. Then it was when the tree fell, a 26-pound raccoon got ejected. Is that, you seen that? Is that video that's online with the, it's like raccoon just gets shot out, like, bow. Well, Barman saying the Kinks had a great verse in one of their songs, Paranoia Will Destroy It. Aaron, I know Holden Man's from down south, but you know me, I don't know the difference. You know, I don't know the difference between Melbourne or Ballarat or I don't know. I know it's like Uncle Tony said, Australia is like a rock with a bunch of kangaroos, and then New Zealand's kind of like a raft next to the. No, I'm kidding. I just don't know. I'm an ignorant man. I shouldn't be on the internet. I shouldn't be speaking to people. In fact, if there was anyone who was like pretty like due for a vow of silence, it would probably be me. I think that would be a good route. Yeah, those raccoons get huge. Down here by the docks, I'd be fishing in the middle of the night and I would see it would look like a dog. Just a huge raccoon. And one day my buddy Sam was real zoned out fishing. And they had like kind of surrounded him and he didn't realize it. And my buddy Chris and I were just kind of watching, just being good friends. And Chris is sitting there giggling, stoned and everything, and he's like, finally, like, just gets the inkling to tell him. He's like, "Hey, Sam, the raccoons." And Sam's like, "What? What?" And he looks down and he's like, "Oh shit!" You know, he jumps, and these raccoons get scared and they run off. The raccoons. Hold a man TC saying not good going with the Chevy C10 pickup truck. What's wrong with it, man? What's going down? Hubie's Garage is saying, after I got back from London, I bought more punk albums, cassettes in those days. Hubie, that's how I was really introduced to a lot of it. I got given a gentleman's cassettes, and I still have a lot of them. I lost my favorite one. It was a burnt cassette that one side was the Dead Kennedys' Frankenchrist, and the other side was the Angry Samoans Back from Samoa. Aaron, apparently they make good pets. They have like a musk. They have like a scent gland or something that they gets kind of overpowering. I don't know. I've got no experience. I've just been told this. Hold a man TC saying the motor's not working. How so? Has it got a knock or something, or is it just not doing its thing? Chris Cadman is saying, Dad always said it's a good thing you are pretty, son, because you ain't too smart. All saying we're closer to the possums here. I like possums a bunch. Plus, you guys got those Virginia possums. They got big white faces. They're pretty funky looking. Aaron saying gets robbed by a raccoon. Pretty much, man. They were, I don't know if we were using squid or something as bait. I think he had near him, but they were surrounding him, and it was like we were just watching. Like, what do they want from him? What are they gonna do? And then finally, Chris, Sam, the raccoons. That's all he said. Beckerwood's Custom saying Angry Samoans. Yeah, that's got to be. They're definitely probably top 5 for me. That whole Back from Samoa album is just like so insistent, man. The motor won't start, Holden, man. It won't turn over or it won't start. My starter won't start this morning. Good Lord, my motor won't even turn. Aaron said they say you have to wash them a lot. Yeah, I don't know how it works, but if they're smart, they make good pets. They're not like, Dean Stevenson saying compression check. Chris Greenwood was saying we have a one-eyed Pete, an old skunk in my neighborhood. He was hit by a car when I was a kid, and he walks aimlessly in the backyards of the neighborhood, except ours. Hates the smell of dogs. It's cool he's still wandering. Chris Cadman saying possums are all over southern Canada. He'd be saying he was face to face with a possum when trimming with my hedge trimmer on my lawn route years ago. It was fun. Yeah, they're kind of like, if they surprise you, they do the face and everything. All I'm saying, I got shaken down by wild turkeys on Thanksgiving once. Kind of a family story now because I whipped out the nunchucks and happened to be not dressed to be dressed not entirely unlike a pilgrim as it happened. Nunchucks. I mean, I would pay good money to see you fighting off wild turkeys with nunchucks. That's pretty amazing. Holdeman TC saying it'll turn over, but it won't start. Like Dean was saying, a compression check might not be a bad idea. Hubie's garage saying he hissed at me pretty good. Yeah, they're funny. I used to get them in my garden a bunch. A lot of baby possums and stuff, and I took care of a couple of them for a few months at one point until they were like big enough to not die, and I let them go. But Peckerwood's Custom saying it can't be much stopping at Holden, man. It's only fuel and spark. Yeah, pretty much. There's got to be something simple there. It's an '86 Chevy. He said it was an '86, so I'm wondering, does it have an HEI distributor? Stoic Steel saying check the ignition system first. That's also, yeah, it doesn't take as long as a compression test, does it, Stoic Steel? That's a better idea. Chris Cadman saying turkeys have guns here. They stole your guys' guns. Mopar Man saying my dad was at work, had to take a bag of trash out, 2 dumpsters behind the shop, and a raccoon was in there drunk. He was sticking his hand in the jar of clear hand sanitizer and eating the alcohol gel. Damn. Chris Greenaway saying Chris Cadman had one almost land in my lap when setting up an early turkey hunt last spring. I almost rode a 10-point while hunting geese. Slid down to the bank to retrieve a cripple, and the deer stood. All I'm saying, the thing with possums here is my previous kitty was trying to befriend the baby possums like all his life. With Shifty, it worked, so we had a garage possum. Nice. Deer stood up and jumped on. Damn. Holdeman TC saying, I'm thinking to sell it for Holden SSU. I'm unenlightened, man. Yeah, the nunchucks. Aaron, I know she's not lying either because she's mentioned the nunchucks several times. This is like a thing with her. The nunchucks as well as the staff. I think Chris Cadman saying all raccoons are drunk. Now I'm picturing all raccoons being Irish. Little raccoon wearing a tartan. Ian saying possums make me laugh. One killed by a Jeep made me cry. Don't cry, Dean. Don't cry. Holdeman TC saying, I got a job at a car dealership in Victoria. Nice, man. Glad to hear it. Olive saying, I tend to picture raccoons with down east Maine accents. That's a really cool accent, Olive. I never, ever hear that accent out here. And it's kind of a bummer. Because I feel like that's like the voice of America, you know. People picture it as this stupid Californian accent I got, but I feel like the real accent is that Northeast. Take it to Tim Hortons, walking on a leash till pest control got word she captured as a cub. Violent would hiss vehicles, etc. But you see it in Great White North. Ballarat Mercedes Benz dealership. Nice, man, Mercedes. Are you working as a tech? Or are you just detailing? Or what kind of work are you doing, Holden, man? I'll plug this phone in. I'm not going to be able to set it down. So if it's a little bit wobbly, I'm sorry, but I'm going to hold this dang phone. All I'm saying, we do call Shifty's relatives the clan of Shifty. QB's crowd just saying my wife had nunchucks and I still have them. She also went after a wild turkey. Not the drink, a real one with an air rifle. Yes. Peckerwood's Custom saying your accent is more like ours than any, Ari. It's a different one. I don't know. You definitely I got that Orange County thing. I hold on to words sometimes. I say like, I say rad, I say dude a lot, stuff like that. But Chris Cadman saying my real Irish friend was at my house today. Funny. I love the real Irish. The most Irish people I've known were like, first generation. Their parents were immigrants and stuff like that. So it's not really a lot of them here, I guess. At least that I see. They used to come on holiday, which was always fun. Good folks. I'd be working the bar and all these Irish folks would come through, and I was like, yes. All I'm saying, the thing about wild turkeys in Massachusetts is they almost went extinct. And now they're way too protected, so they're freaking fearless. Overpopulated. Now there's got to be a balance there. Mopar Man is asking, all of you own a pair or use the steps to learn how to operate them like Bruce did? There's wild turkeys up in Central and Northern California, but I've never even seen one. Hubie's Garage is saying the wild turkeys are in Montana. We see them all over our property. See, I'm gonna be bugging the hell out of you, Hubie. Like, hey, can I come hunt up there? Chased him down with an air rifle, though. That's pretty badass. She's pretty fearless. Definitely very fearless. At least from what you tell me. All I'm saying, between that and people that I know, Bruce Lee's book is good. Also, it's good not to just flail around and own yourself. Yeah. I'd bust my glasses and yeah, I would hurt myself with nunchucks. Chris is saying turkeys are actually skittish birds. They release them here 40 years or so ago, and now we can harvest 2 in the spring and 1 in the fall. Yeah, that's not bad. Hubie saying they're nothing like store-bought turkeys. You mean they might actually taste good, or what? I'm sure I could do something with it. Stoic Steel saying Colorado has this dumb law that says you can't hunt coyotes on a motor vehicle. So you got to get out of the truck to shoot the coyote. That's bad. It sucks. What if you have a helicopter? Just suppressing fun at that point. Well, it's funny out here at Stoic Steel. I mean, people coyote hunt out in the desert and everything else, but here rurally, there's a huge problem with the overpopulation of coyotes. They run around all the riverbeds, because they have to cover every riverbed in concrete here, so they run up and down the riverbeds into wetlands and areas like that. And there's certain parts where you just can't have a cat that's outdoors, otherwise they'll eat it. Like I know people who've lost a few cats within a year, a few months, you know. But Chris is saying Hubie, they're better. All saying farm turkeys are bred to be like mostly breast meat and all. Yeah. Old man's detailing brand new Mercedes-Benz cars out of the dealership and sell them. Nice, man. That's good work. My buddy Bodie did that a lot at the Fletcher Jones dealership we have out here. Fletcher Jones Jr. Funny story. I worked with we had to actually bounce Fletcher Jones Jr. out of the bar we worked at in Newport Beach. Tried to choke one of my buddies out of like this little like cheesy little rage choke. Hubie's Garage is saying, Stoic Steel, you can hunt from your vehicle if you're handicapped in Montana. That's badass. I'm gonna go claim something. I'm gonna be like my neck, my back, something just so I can hunt out of the Apache. Oh my God. See? Dreams, bucket list. Oh man, dreams. I've got dreams, guys. Aspirations. Yes. Oh, it's on live chat again. Why is it doing that? I hate when it goes on to top chat and I miss people's messages. You saying, hey Mexican Spec, it should be like Perim, 364 days of fair game. Pierre Chris Greenway saying legs are tough and the store farm that's tougher than the store farm brand. The only thing the legs are good for are stews and soups, but the breast is tender as like chicken. I think, geez, I mean, if I had like a wild turkey leg, I would really want to stew it up like for some collard greens or something. Olive's saying I have a big yellow, red, and black print of all the stances and attacks with the nunchucks. I also worked with the three sectional staff and the butterfly swords. See, look, you guys both do kung fu and stuff. That's what's going to happen. Next time you guys get into some political bout on the channel, I'm going to have to like get some contractual agreement between you two that you have a kung fu battle to settle it. Stoic Steel saying, yeah, coyotes are a big problem out here in cattle country. I bet, man. They're sneaky bastards, too. They're smart. Oh, the like the Kempo dummies, Mopar man. Hubie's Garage is saying, my father-in-law does and always has a tag or two. The punt gun. Yeah, Chris. I think it was one of the first rifles I shot was a Remington 700 and 223, specific that the owner had bought specifically for coyotes. Spencer's drink reviews and chugs is in the chat. Howdy, Spencer. How are you, man? How goes? Stoic Steel. Yeah, the Creedmoor is real expensive though, ain't it? I know it's super flat shooting. Everybody really, I mean, it's hot right now. Everybody loves it, but I've got no experience with it. So, and I know it's pretty expensive. Hubie's Garage is saying coyotes are vermin here. Yeah, but we can't shoot them, Hubie. I mean, I guess if you had like an air rifle or something. Well, I don't know how that works either. I guess if you had tags and had an air rifle, because there's that issue with discharging a firearm in city limits, and then I don't know. There's got to be some. All of a sudden, I've been thinking about 30 carbine for coyote dissuasion around here. I'm not sure. Again, it's something I lack. Something I lack experience with. Opar man saying my Sifu also taught us some jujitsu and other odds and ends grappling and defense against weapons like guns and knives, etc. That's awesome, man. Good old training. Call him Sifu. My buddy's a MMA coach, and I always call him Sifu. Chris Greenway. So my dad has a joke. You know why karate and judo died? In the West, an Asian man walked into the saloon and said, "I'm the master of judo." Oh, hold on. I'll wait till you finish. Is that Till Bruning? Welcome. Welcome to the chat. How are you? Is it Teal or is it Till? Teal? I have so much trouble pronouncing things. I'm ignorant. Excuse me. Teal. All right. Welcome. Glad to have you in the chat. We're talking about pest control and hunting wild turkeys and kung fu. UB's Garage is saying, I was in Arizona riding shotgun with a fire chief in his truck. The truck stopped and suddenly, and I had a 45 across my face. He was aiming at a coyote out the window. Lucky for me, he didn't take the shot. Well, that sounds kind of sketchy. Get you with the still flash you and stuff. That's not good. Chris is saying all of 223 would be the best thing. Chris, I think she's worried about noise. I don't know. The 223 will get a lot louder bark than the 30 carbine, but 30 carbine's also notoriously underpowered. So I kind of got to agree with Chris. Hubie's Garage is saying it wasn't very cool. Yeah, I don't know. That's like them's fighting words, Hubie. That's not good. But I mean, I guess, adrenaline or whatever. Till is saying we have 3 horses. Beautiful. Beautiful. We have a couple folks that own horses that come into the chat sometimes, but I don't think they're here now. Chris is saying 223 with a can. Yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, that's an expensive rig though, Chris. Very expensive rig. But I mean, I guess all of you're in a place where you can actually get that kind of stuff fairly without any insane bureaucracy or anything to deal with. So 3 horses. That's pretty dang cool. All tired horses lying in the sun. How am I supposed to get any riding done? Oh, man. Teal's saying I'm actually in Germany, but I'm just saying English. That's awesome. I don't know much about Germany. I've got some friends in Zurich, but Switzerland and everything, but not much. I don't speak any German, or Swiss German for that matter. So it's awesome that you speak enough English to communicate with us. Chris Green is saying also you can get subsonic 223 and out of an 18-inch barrel, no louder than a 9mm handgun. Stoic Steel saying the main reason 6.5 Creed is popular around here is because the average yearly wind speed is something like 23 miles per hour. Oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense, man. Yeah, Hubie, you can't really be. That's kind of one of those things. You're not really supposed to have somebody, between the gun and what you're shooting. It's one of them rules, So could you talk a word from Germany? I guess you'd say, Ich bin Deutschman. Chris Cameron said, my neighbor had an old workhorse that was like a huge dog. They're sweet, man. I love horses. Some of them are kind of ornery, but for the most part, if they're handled well and they get the attention they need, they're really beautiful animals. Gold. Chris is saying 6.5 is garbage. Seen more whitetail walk away. Uh, I'm really unenlightened. I'm kind of stuck on 270. They're working on the track out there. Those guys are classic. They work all damn night. Hubie's Garage is saying, yep, not a lot of respect for him after that incident. Yeah, that's one of those ones. I mean, I don't. It's kind of a lot of a lot of stupid people really ought to be grateful for your good nature. It seems like Hubie, maybe myself included. Till saying you look cool with your haircut. Thank you. It's the same haircut I've had since like 2008. It's either like this or I'll wear a hat sometimes. But usually just like this. Thank you. Thanks, Dean. It's funny to me just because it's the way it's always been. I used to go a lot higher with it though. I just the Elvis thing. But in the last few years, especially if I'm going to something semi-formal, I try to be more reserved with it. Is this phone not plugged in? I'm at 5% battery. That's not. There it goes. The hell are they honking at out there? Dean saying Ralph Macchio. Oh, now they're having fun for sure out there. It's like Robbie from Cobra Kai. Chris is saying the 6.8 Western I was wanting to talk is the Sand Mountain Ballistics about is a 27 caliber based on 270. I can shoot projected 180 to 190 grain bullets, 270 mag essentially. Chris, I think I know what you're talking about. My buddy Guy was telling me about it. That's something he has. He got some crazy Wildcat rifle that he's got, and he was telling me about it. I don't think I have dies for that. Well, now I gotta look up Robbie from Cobra Kai because I don't remember. Stoic Steel saying I'm saving up to get me a 357 mag lever action. That's badass, Stoic Steel. I just got some. Well, my buddy just got some powder so I could load him some of those FTX bullets. It's you know what I'm talking about? It's the Hornady. Their bullets are made specifically for lever action, so they sit deeper in the cartridge, and they're pointed bullets, but they got the rubber tips, so you can load them into the my poor brain into the tube magazine. But it's cool because when you get the lever action, you can load some really hot ass 357, and because of the chamber pressures, you can get away with it. What else I just saw is Rossi started making pistols again. Winchester and Browning are the only two rifles chambered in those. Dean saying, until my German friend Daniel from Hamburg, I learned that I couldn't say his name properly, so I called him Wheelbarrow. Daniel laughed. He said wheelbarrow is the longest word in German. And it's female. Dave saying I used to use a 257 Roberts to shoot groundhogs. Dave, I've never used it personally. I've read a lot about it. I've read a lot about it in loading catalogs and stuff. I have the old. I think I have my Lyman reloading manual here. Stoic Steel saying that's awesome. Yeah, man. If I actually load some up, man, I'll send some your way. I mean, if you trust explosives made by me. Chris Greenaway saying Chris Cabin, a mild mannered, little faster than 270, slower than seven mags, like just shoulder kill. Dean Stevenson saying German is the best language for encrypted humor. I I actually really do love the language. I love how literal it is. It's very direct. There's not a lot of room for slop. It's pretty great. It's a great language. It's not easy. Swiss German is difficult too. Just the emphasis on certain vowels and everything else. It's like for someone who only speaks English, it's difficult. Till is back again. Glad to have you. Mopar man's. Oh yeah, cheap fun, man. The 762 by 39 is great. It's not. I mean, it ain't as accurate, but QB's Garage is saying, "Wow, only 3 likes." I think it says 24 up here, but I could be wrong. Hubie just tuned in that early. That's why he tuned in when it first started. There was only 3 likes. This phone almost died on me. I didn't realize it wasn't plugged in when I said I was going to plug it in. But now it's charging, so that's a plus. Chris Kevin saying 308. 308 is great. Yeah, he was saying it when I tuned it. Yeah, I thought so. I thought so. But I appreciate the likes, guys. It's good. It's good seeing people come through. It's really cool having newer folks come through the chat, and especially from people from different parts of the world. That's one of the cooler parts about YouTube. I think it's people get to see. I mean, obviously, my live stream isn't the most, you know, amazing thing in the world, but still, you get to kind of share a little something, and it's more than you get just sitting there, right? Chris Greenaway saying 7 mags is only 5 pounds of recoil more than 30-06, and the Army considered 30-06 the most recoil a man could maintain line of sight and shoot again. Yeah, that's it. Rich is still lurking, still stalking, man. I appreciate you, Rich. It's always good to have you in the chat, man. Stoic Steel saying, well, the straw pillow is calling my name. Later, everyone. Stoic Steel, thanks so much for stopping in, man. I always appreciate you. Hope you get the 357 lever action soon, man. That'll be a lot of fun. And be safe out there. Have a great week. Don't hurt nobody. Check your fluids, man. Hubie's Garage is saying maybe you could go John Wilburn decor style. I was thinking of it, just some broken engine parts up here and the doing and dreaming thing. And I'll have like a countdown until Christmas or something just because I don't have a race. Flat plane crank. Rich is saying, want a nice piece? Taurus Judge. That's not the one that shoots 410, is it? Because I won't lie, I never really. Till I guess I do. I didn't realize I had 1750. I think it was like 1740 something. But yes, I do. The channel is mostly just my truck. It's a 1960 Chevy truck, Chevrolet. And I drive it all around here. And it's a very populated area. It's Los Angeles, basically. And that's kind of the channel, and a lot of old cars, just different things I see. Chris Cabin saying, how many people get the chance to see the basement of a Chevy pickup? Thank you. Yeah, I know it's kind of boring, man. I would like to go just chill in the truck, but it gets too dark out there. There's not really much to see out here. There's not anywhere cool to go, So it's like I liked when I did the live stream out in the desert because I was just kind of sitting on a bench by some Palo Verde trees. I thought that was great. Chris, I don't know. The last time I shot 7 mag, I was like a teenager. So, Rich is saying 40 longs and 410s. That'd be a perfect drone gun, man. Got us right. By the goat. I don't know. Dean is very, very cryptic. Till even I most of the time don't know what he's saying because they're speaking my English and then there's Dean's level of speaking English that's like up here. He's very, very smart gentleman. Chris Greenway saying fix the damn dome. I'll get there, man. Live from Las Golondrinas. Oh man. Oh, that's the place right over the freeway, Hubie. That's the place with the good burritos. That's right. It took me a second. Ah, Golondrinas, but you call it Colondrinus. See what you did there. I'm saying Los Reyes used to be good. Glasses, they're pretty crazy here. I'll see if I can switch them up. Put the new glasses on. Can't see anything. They're a little less reflecty. Look like somebody out of a Fellini movie or something. A Fellini film. Mopar Man saying, I used to know a retired Marine Corps sniper. He and his buddy would reload their own rounds. He had a 500 H&H Magnum. He would shoot deer over 300 yards. Jeez, man. Till saying, I like your glasses. Thank you. Thank you. I need them. I'm blind. I can't see anything. Like right now, I can't even see the chat that's right in front of my face. I need them though. Chris is saying no one will be taking my Model 70s. No, no way, never. Till was saying one of my horses died. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. How old? Or what age? I don't know. Yeah, we're very sorry about that. Yeah, I also cried there. I could imagine that's a lot, especially Oh, Chris, too soon, man. Um, yeah, that's a lot, especially you have an animal for so many years, then it finally goes. Dean saying, "Mama nerd, welcome." She's been here, man. She's lurking. Mom's always here, which is awesome. It's good to have mom here. Oh man, yeah, they're working hard out there. It's kind of cool. They're fixing the railroad track right over here. I might be able to actually show you guys. I don't know if any of the work would be visible. I guess I could walk over there. No, that makes sense, Chris. Dean's saying, in my country, we are allowed to bury them with a ditch digger as long as the authorities are notified. Hubie saying those rail repair trucks are amazing. They're pretty cool, Hubie. I'll tell you what, though. You know what's sitting on the side of every one of them is a brand new Spall fan. One of those might go missing. Blame it on the local drifters. Maybe I can see it. Let me try. Oh God. Only have 9% battery here, so I can't really walk over there. Probably kill my phone, but let's see if I can see it. Anything? I'm kind of blocked off here. You can see the truck. Oi! Let's see. We can switch this up. Hey, spider. Huh. There you go. You can kind of see some of it. Yeah, they're just working all along the track here. You can see them down there as well. But the main portion they're working on is over here. So. But yeah, it's cat, get. But yeah, it's oh geez, look at me, I'm breaking things. He's drunk. He's drunk. Yeah, they've been going nuts over there. Till saying, I know that place. It's San Juan Capistrano, Till. Chris, that's a good one. Yeah, exactly, Ma. San Juan Capistrano. Lovely place. It really ain't too bad. It's kind of funny. There's a weird clash of culture, though. You got like the normal working class Mexican folks, you got completely poor folks, the uber rich elite people, and then like this weird kind of moneybags equestrian wannabe Yellowstone crowd. Doesn't make a lot of sense, at least not to me. Chris Cabin said, okay, we're zeroing in on our. Come visit. Come visit. Brushing my teeth now. Nice. I probably should do that. My notion, Chris, is like if anybody like, I mean, what are they gonna like steal something from me? Like anything I have that someone might take is more of a burden than anything else. Like, are they gonna steal the cat? Hubie's Garage is saying it was funny watching an Edison crew swap out a transformer on a power pole in my backyard at 12 a.m. They had it done in about 3 hours and used a pulley rope for it. Nice. Chris saying, the problem is I want all the quintessential American deer rifles, but it's hard to find some calibers and rifles. Then other makers only make them in odd calibers. Yeah, it's kind of hit or miss. I see. That's me. I mean, I like the most basic of basic. What are you saying, Chris? The milk crates? My milk crate throne? Chris is saying beer was. Yeah, they will bring the cat back. He's a handful. Plus, the thing I did now is the cat's got a collar, but the little badge on his collar has Hubie's address. So if the cat's lost, Chris Green was saying, does that cat actually like it? Unfortunately, yes, Chris. He really does. He's my buddy, man. Like normally, if I'm chilling, he's laying near me or on me. He gets bugged when I'm not around. Mom's saying I begged for that cat for years, but no. Mom, you got to ask Hubie. Oh, man. World's oldest joke. Chris Cadman saying dirt bikes eat milk crates. Plus, Mom, you can't have the cat. He would probably abuse your husband. You'd be paying for shipping one way only. That is that's one of my older jokes, Jeff. I was joking around about like people at the bar, because I would check people's IDs on the way in. You see their name, you see their address and everything, and it's like if the person ended up bothering me or I had to kick them out or anything, I would go make a collar with a tag with their address and name on it and go put it on a random cat. That way, when animal control picks up the cat, cat gifting. So this is like a premeditated thing for me. I mean, I've been thinking of ways to pawn off cats on people for some time now. Damn cat. That's the problem, though. Like Chris. Chris was asking if he actually likes. The cat does like me. We like each other. You know what I mean? It's just like one of those grown ass man. Why do I have a cat? Cat laundering. Yeah, Dean. It was a long. I was thinking about it, and then I was worried, like, maybe if I give these people a cat, they'll embrace it, and it might make them a better person. I don't know. But yeah, Hubie's that is the joke, you know what I mean? Hubie's already got four cats that he didn't really want, so it's like, why not a fifth? Really just layer it on there. Get another yap dog too. Um, Maybe I should get another cat. I'll go get a box of kittens from the store. Taste my own medicine. Ian's saying it's all about raising the consciousness of the population by depopulating your cat supply. Excellent. Olive's saying there's actually lots of cats that need adopting out there. Yeah, Olive. Imagine going and getting your buddy's address, their name and everything, and just throwing a collar on one of those cats. Forced adoption. I think that would solve a lot of the cat problem if you just made people take them. He's a good cat. Look at him. Oh, look at him. Yeah, Mom, you were feeding. I saw that. I forgot to reply. You were feeding the raccoon. Aren't you not supposed to have animals like that in the house? Isn't that like halal or Gurgamek or whatever? Gilgamesh? What Dean said, yes. Yes, exactly what Dean said. Aaron saying I'd have half a dozen if I could. Yeah, Aaron, I forgot to mention that. Aaron was just talking about pet raccoons. My mom was just feeding. It was like sitting in the house. She's got a bowl of food for it. Yeah, the raccoons. Are the cats still around, Ma? My mom's like three cats away from being a crazy cat lady. The raccoon just waltzes in and helps. I'm just kidding, Ma. Don't. Yeah, you can't strike me. I win. uh, I keep hearing that horn and thinking it's a taco truck. It's really kind of sad that it's not. But yeah, Mom's feeding the raccoons. She's feeding the cats. It's like Snow White over there. It's A house magpie? That's kind of rad. I'm always calling my grandmother a magpie, Aaron. The Iranian one. She really is a miserable old magpie. Yeah, the food nerd is my mom. Oh yeah, see, this is how you know you have like a very superior cat. Look at him. Look at this stance. Look at all the fur he left on the carpet. How about that? That stance. Yeah, my mom's mom, Leandra, beautiful person, wonderful lady. But my dad's mom, she's a horrible, horrible crow of a person. She really just isn't a good person. And everyone's like, "Whoa, you can't talk about your grandma like that." And I'm like, "Yes, I can. She's a horrible person. Horrible." Chris Cabin said, Iranian, I thought you're, well, I mean, the white side. I mean, grandfather was all right. He was like a human statue. Pegwood saying, Aaron saying, mine's doing that right now too. He's all just splayed out. Uh, oh man. All right, guys. I'll probably call it a night. I'm right here at about 3 hours of streaming, and I'm falling asleep on you. I've been boring the entire time, but I can feel myself getting more boring. So I'll probably go ahead and call it for the evening if it's okay with you guys. Get myself a burrito, combo burrito. No, I'll probably just get some rest. I don't need to eat this late. But I appreciate everybody coming through. It was a great live stream, a lot of fun. We hit all the subjects: flatulence, kung fu, wild turkeys, cats, horses. I really appreciate everybody. It was a good time. And again, I'll probably try to do another couple live streams this week. I have a couple videos I need to do that I'll put out, and I'll try to keep up with the shorts as well. I know I've been lagging lately, but I'll get something good going. Jeez, I'm losing myself here. Have a great night, everybody. Have a great week. Be safe out there. Don't hurt nobody. Be kind to each other. Later, Dave. Most of all, make sure to check your fluids very seriously. Avoid an automotive mishap. Thanks so much, guys. I appreciate you. Have a great week. I'll talk to you soon, before too long. I'm trying to block the camera like that. Right on. Aaron, thanks so much for stopping in, man. Good to talk to you again. It's been a little while. Thanks, folks. Pilgrims and nunchucks.